Hello students. Today we will discuss problem of excess and deficient demand. Equilibrium level. According to the classical economics, equilibrium level of income is attained always at full employment level. There is the absence of involuntary unemployment. But according to Keynesian theory, equilibrium level can be achieved at full employment level, under employment level, over full employment level. Full employment level, it refers to a situation when aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply at full employment level. You can see in the diagram at the point E is the full employment level. Situation of full employment does not mean a situation of zero unemployment. There always exists some degree of unemployment, which is known as natural unemployment. This occurs owing to the fact that there are constant changes in supply demand parameters in the economy, and adjustment to these changes takes time. While adjustments are occurring, some people remain continue unemployed. This is a situation of frictional and structural changes. What is structural unemployment? It is the unemployment that results from the long-term decline of certain industries. Frictional unemployment. It is the unemployment associated with changes of jobs in dynamic economy. What is voluntary and involuntary unemployment? What is the difference between them? Voluntary unemployment is a situation where those who are not willing to do work, although suitable work is available to them, they are unemployed of their own will. Involuntary unemployment is a situation where people are eligible and willing to do work but fail to find work. In involuntary unemployment, these people are not included in the workforce of the country. These people are not considered as unemployed in economics like housewives. But in involuntary unemployment, those people are included in the workforce of the country. These people are considered as unemployed in economics like persons having engineering degree but still unemployed. Now we will discuss underemployment equilibrium. It refers to a situation when the aggregate demand is equal to the aggregate supply when resources are not fully employed. It occurs prior to the full employment level. Here you can see E is the full employment level, but aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply AD1 is equal to AS at the point F. It shows the underemployment equilibrium in this diagram. Over full employment equilibrium refers to a situation when aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply beyond the full employment level. It occurs after the full employment level. You can see in the diagram E is the full employment equilibrium. But actual demand AD1 is equal to aggregate supply at the point G. So, equilibrium, it shows the equilibrium beyond the full employment. Yes, friends, you can show these three situations in a one diagram. In this diagram, F full employment level, E underemployment level, P is shown the overemployment level. Now we will discuss problem of excess demand and inflationary gap. AD is greater than AS corresponding to full employment level. It is called excess demand. You can see in the diagram also. Yes, friends, inflationary gap showing excess of current aggregate demand over aggregate supply at the full employment level of full employment. Why we call it inflationary? Because it leads to inflation. We can take a simple example. Let's suppose that an imaginary economy, by employing all its available resources, can produce 10,000 quintal of rice. If aggregate demand of rice is 12,000 quintals, this demand will be called an excess demand. Because aggregate supply at the level of full employment of resources is only 10,000 quintals, then gap between AD and AS is 2000. It is called inflationary gap. In this diagram, AB is the inflationary gap because at full employment level OY dash, aggregate demand is greater than aggregate supply. Yes, friends, what are the reasons of excess demand? For simplicity, you will learn like this. You have done components of aggregate demand C plus I plus G plus X minus N. Now you can see the reasons. Increase in household consumption demand due to rise in propensity to consume. Number two, increase in private investment demand I because of rise in credit facilities. Number three, increase in government expenditure. Number four, increase in demand for exports owing to lower domestic prices in relation to international prices. Decrease in imports due to higher international prices compared with domestic prices. Or a cut in tax rates, leaving higher disposable income with people. Now we will discuss what are the effects of excess demand. First of all, effect on general price level. Excess demand gives a rise to general price level because it arises when aggregate demand is more than aggregate supply at full employment level. There is inflation in economy showing inflationary gap. Effect on output. Excess demand has no effect on the level of output. Economy is at full employment level. There is no idle capacity in the economy, so output cannot increase. Effect on employment. There will be no change in the level of employment. Economy is already operating at full employment equilibrium. There is no unemployment, so only prices will be increased. Yes, friends. Now we will discuss deficient demand or deflationary gap. When in an economy, aggregate demand is less than aggregate supply corresponding to full employment level, it is called deficient demand. You can see in the diagram also. Yes, friends, again we can take the example. Suppose in an imaginary economy, by employing all its available resources, can produce 10,000 quintals of rice. If aggregate or demand is 8,000 quintals, now 2,000 is deficient demand or deflationary gap. So, in that diagram, you can see equilibrium between AD and AS is at point less than the level of full employment. Keynes called it underemployment equilibrium. Causes of Deficient demand, decrease in household consumption demand due to fall in propensity to consume. You will change the points. Decrease in private investment demand. Number 3, decrease in public expenditure. Number 4, decrease in exports owing to higher domestic prices in relation to international prices. Rise in imports due to lower prices in the international market compared with domestic prices. Increase in tax rates leaves lesser disposable income with the people. Effects of deficient demand. Effect on general price level. Deficient demand causes the general price level to fall because it arises when AD is less than ES at full employment level. This is deflation in an economy showing deflationary gap. Effect on employment due to deficient demand, investment level is reduced, which causes involuntary unemployment in the economy due to fall in the planned output. Effect on output, low level of investment and employment implies low level of output. Yes, friends, this question is very important. Difference between inflationary and deflationary gap. Inflationary gap, it is a very simple definition. It is measured at the difference between AD beyond full employment and AD at full employment. Difference between AD beyond full employment and AD at full employment level is called the inflationary gap. Deflationary gap is measured at the difference between AD at full employment and AD at underemployment level. Aggregate demand exceeds aggregate supply at full employment level in the inflationary gap. It occurs when AD is greater than AS corresponding to full employment level. Level of output is constant at full employment. There is no unemployment, no underemployment in the economy. But in the deflationary gap, aggregate demand is less than aggregate supply at full employment level. Level of output is less than the full employment. There is unemployment or underemployment in the economy. Thank you.